Right, good evening. My name is Dharmendra, and we are here to complete our training on the diversity policy for our Aruma RTO. The purpose of the whole policy is to provide a frame of reference for providing and maintaining training services that reflect fair and reasonable opportunity for all the students, regardless of their diverse nature, um, allowing everybody to freely participate in a learning environment free from discrimination, harassment, bullying, and vilification. Yeah, so their commitment is basically a set of rules and principles and policies that they follow and abide by. Some of them are, I would just point it out, some of them are they're committed to providing quality training and assessment products and services in compliance to standard for registrations training organization, which is RTO, which was formalized in 2015. They also promote and encourage values, equity, and diversity with regard to the students. So they ensure that the services offered are provided in a fair and equitable manner to all students, free from bias, which is very important. They're also committed in providing flexible learning and assessment options, allowing students um, alternatives which recognize the diversity of their individual needs and circumstances, which helps them, complete their goals. In turn, they also ensure that all training and assessment policies and procedures are incorporated and they have equity principles. Like all students have equitable access to benefits and training assessments, irrespective of their gender, age, culture, religion, their marital status, their location, their background, their sexual preference, etc., etc. And all nominations and enrollments into the training courses and programs will be conducted all the times in an ethical and responsible manner, ensuring fairness and compliance with equal opportunity and abiding by the legislation. All students have equitable access to training resources, so it's all on one platform where everybody can access the way it's easy to access, and everybody can access it without any issues. Also provide training opportunities and materials that help people attain their objectives. We jump straight into the definitions. They've got a lot of definitions regarding the equity policy and the diversity policy, so we'll go by it really quickly. They've got definitions around access and equity, which means they've got policies that is aimed to ensure that VET is responsible to the individual that needs students whose age, gender, cultural, etc. May present a barrier to access, participation, and achievement to suitable outcomes. So they help those kind of people. They don't believe in discrimination, and which is either direct or indirect. Direct discrimination is basically when a person when a person treats less when the person I'm sorry when the person or an organization or a group of a person is treated fairly, less fairly than the others. And indirect discrimination is basically the rules, practices, or the policies which appear to be non-discriminatory and equally applicable, but operate in a way that certain groups are excluded without a cause or without giving them a reason. So have policies around workplace harassment, any sort of harassment. It could be sexual harassment, verbal harassment. It's no tolerance towards it. Um, they've also got um, they've also got policies around verbal and non-verbal harassment. Non-verbal harassment would be leering, you know, looking at people in a bad way, wolf whistling, having nude or pornographic posters around, displaying sexist or racist cartoons, etc., mimicking someone with a disability, practical jokes that are unwelcome, ignoring someone or being cold, rude hand and body gestures. Some of them are non-verbal harassments. Physical harassments are basically direct, which means basically indecent or sexual assault or an attempted assault, hitting, shoving, pushing, spitting on people, um, unfastening people's attire, playing with their clothes, etc. Um, and some of the other policies that they mentioned are Equal opportunity. So they believe in equal opportunity. They're an equal opportunity company, and they do not discriminate, as I said before, with respect to people's gender, age, caste, etc., etc. The target groups are defined here, which are Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders, people with disability, people from non-English backgrounds. They support them as well. People in transition, basically, women and people from regionally isolated communities. They've also got policies around special needs and considerations. So they cater to people who have, or students who have special disability, people who have students who have special needs. They help them out as well. They have policies around language literacy and numeracy, where they need to ensure that students talk in one language, or rather they can talk in their own language, but then they need to have professional language is what is more important. Yeah, again, they've got policies around harassment, which, as I said before, it could be bullying or violence or treating people with disrespect, and these sort of also constitute a criminal offense. So people can get in trouble if they do something like that. Um, they've also got a complaints policy where students, staff can complain for any issues they face. They've also got around policies around victimization, which means in order for the complaints to be brought forward, complainants must feel secure in the knowledge that RTO procedures will be followed without fear. RTO will not victimize or treat any person unfairly for making an harassment complaint. So it's quite transparent, but it's also quite confidential in that matter. So any complaint or victimization will be treated in the same manner as a complaint towards discrimination, sexual harassment, or vilification. So nothing will be ignored. We've also laid down some of the responsibilities that they go by. Some of them are maintaining policies and procedures for equal opportunities for all staff, contractors, and students. Disseminate policies and procedures to staff. They regularly examine their policies and procedures, ensure that there's no discrimination against any individual student or group of students or staff member, etc. They educate all their staff and contractors in regards to the goals and philosophy of equal opportunity together. They eliminate sexist and other discriminatory language from all publications and discourage the use of such language in all printed media. Establish and maintain mechanism to deal with complaints as well. So they've got a set process and policy around everything. They also follow the legislations. The policy reflects their commitment to the following legislations. There are many legislations. Some of them are quite clear and clearly used in the training environment, which is the Education and Training Reforms Act 2006, which was a Victoria-based one. And then some of them are Training and Workforce Development Act 2013, Tasmania, Age Discrimination Act 2004, Disability Discrimination Act 2009, and there are about 15 to 20 of them, of the legislations that they follow, and they ensure that they follow them. That's exactly how the policy and the procedure and the policy document is built on these legislations. They've also got records management. All documentation regarding complaints concerning to access equity matters are maintained in accordance to the record management policy. Also monitor and keep improving constantly. So all access and equity policy practices are monitored by the RTO manager, and areas of improvement are identified and acted upon. Some of the policies are RTO complaints policy, RTO enrollment policy, RTO WHS policy, which is the health and safety policy, RTO language literacy and literacy policy. And they've got a few resources that they put online, which can be found on either the SharePoint or their website. Yeah, so if there's any question, we can always go on their website and look at these policies again to go through. And yeah, with this, I'll conclude the training video. Thank you. Have a good night.